right. Ani Bojo, Kwe Kwe. Welcome everyone to our Mammadoswin Center here on the territory of the unceded Algonquin and Anishinaabe territory. I know Jackie's going to speak a little bit more about that. My name is Nathaniel Parent, Ondakin Indigenous, Nagig Dodam, Calgary and Donjaba. So we're gathered here today to launch a special week during Reading Week just to acknowledge suicide prevention awareness. So we have a bunch of activities, and the dog squad, as well as a number of staff and guests from Algonquin, have joined us today to talk about the power of pets. So we're really pleased to be here. And before we begin, I would like to just welcome Sam. How do you pronounce her name, Jackie? I will introduce Jackie, our Aboriginal counselor at the Mammadoswin Center, to say a few words and to welcome us as well. Chimigwech.
Bojo Ani Kinawea. Jackie Tanut, Indigenous. Jackie Tanut's my name. I am the Aboriginal counselor at the Mammadoswin Center, and I am so thrilled about this. How it actually played out. I was talking with Sarah Gown when we were doing the Taking a Stand week. And I said, geez, I'm trying to find some really fun activities for the Suicide Prevention and Awareness Week. She says, oh, Jackie, everybody misses the dog squad. And she thought maybe, so we put our heads together and we came up with this idea of having a Zoom. And instead of having our people there, I mean, we could always be in the background, but we can highlight our some of our little friends here, little four-leggeds or whatever kind of pet that you have. And we could talk about their superpowers and stuff. But before I get to that, I have to do a land acknowledgement. So these words are from Joan Commando Tenasco, Anishinaabe Kwe from Kirigan-Zibi near Maniwaki, Quebec. We pay respect to the Algonquin people, who are the traditional guardians of this land. We acknowledge their long-standing relationship with this territory, which remains unceded and unsurrendered. We pay respect to all Indigenous people in this region, the National Capital Region, from all nations across Canada who call Ottawa home. We acknowledge the traditional knowledge keepers, both young and old, and we honor their courageous leaders, past, present, and future. The land that we stand on holds the ashes of our grandparents. The earth that we stand on is full of the lives of our ancestors. The earth is indeed sacred and needs to be respected and protected from those who see the land as a commodity only. And those words were spoken by Joan Commando Tenasco. And I thought she did such a wonderful job about that. And so anyways, welcome everybody. So I guess I get to start things off then. And I guess I don't know how we're going to determine who goes next, but because I have Sam and Bimipto here. Come on, guys. This dog here is Sam. He is 9 years old, and he's a Cairn Terrier, and he's kind of a big woolly mammoth right now because he hasn't gone to the groomer. He hasn't gotten his hair done for a while, and I haven't either. So we're both COVID creatures, I guess. And we got Sam about, oh gee whiz, had to be about 7 or 8 years ago. I don't even remember. But anyways, we got him as not quite a rescue, but he was given back to whoever he had, and they said that they didn't want him anymore. So we fell in love with Sam, and he's a really good dog, but you can't let him off his leash because he'll just take off, and you can call him, he'll turn around and look at you, and then he'll give you the paw, and he'll turn and go the other way. So he has to keep on his leash. And we got Bimipto over here. Hold on, come here, Bimip. Up. Oh, Bimipto's a Chihuahua. I don't know if you can see him or not. I guess maybe.
You can see his face.
Well, we got Bimipto as a friend for Sam, because I would go to work and Sam would cry. And so I felt so bad. And I guess that was about 3 years ago. And so I just kind of felt really bad for Sam. And I thought, well, we got to get another little person for him to be around. So we got Bimipto. And Bimipto means he is running, Ojibwe. So actually, and we should rename Sam too. We should call him Bimose, which is he is walking. He doesn't run a lot. So we'd have walking and running here. Anyway, so it's they're really, really wonderful to have around. They're really good. They greet me even when I've gone to just take the garbage out, and they're just so excited that I'm here. And it just really makes my heart feel really good. And yeah, I love having these two creatures with me and stuff. So miigwech. So I don't know how we're going to do this for the next person.
Well, maybe before we move on from you, Jackie, and we'll introduce our guest speaker as well.
Oh God, yeah.
Because this inspiration came from you, and this idea of pets having a superpower, especially during this time of isolation, and how we turn to our pets for unconditional love and during these times. And so I was wondering if maybe you could just say one superpower each for your two there, Sam and Joe.
One, Sam really likes to sleep, and Bimipto, he barks at air.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much. So before we go around in circle, we have a special guest, Jane Madigan from Inspired Canines. And Jane, I'd like to welcome you and thank you for joining us today, and invite you to share some of what you know with our circle here today, and for our learners who will be listening to this recording as well after, to bring their appreciation of the love that their pets are giving them to another level. Miigwech.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm very honoured and humbled. I love working with the dog squad, and I miss you all, Lexi, Monty, and the owners too. Yeah. Do you want me to just talk about some of the things with the companion animals and the impact the dog squad has had on the campuses? I've made some notes because my mind tends to forget when I'm a little bit nervous, and I am, so I'm a little bit stressed. But what's great about dogs, or any companion animal, and that can be cats, that can be birds, hamsters, rabbits, is they're great companions. And when we have an animal, and I'm going to specifically say dogs because that's easier for me, we make a connection with them. And that connection is we have a responsibility to look after them, look after their needs. And it helps us move our attention to them. So when you're feeling lonely or you're just at home, they always come and say hello. They always interact with you, and we interact back with them. Dogs are really good at picking up on our emotions. I remember when I was sick a while ago, and before my more senior dog Willow passed away, she was very connected to me. And when I wasn't very well, she was like a Velcro dog. She stuck to me. And that was really nice. Whereas my other guy, Buddy, who I've still got, who's a bit reactive, so he's in his crate at the moment just to help him calm. But I have a other dog called Floss, who I will be just showing some particular types of stroke on her for you to see. But yeah, dogs pick up on our emotions, and that is the same with the dog squad dogs. And it's one of the things that I work with the handlers and the owners with, recognizing when the dogs are a little bit under stress because of what they're picking up from the students or the staff that are interacting with them. So I'd just like to go through some just about the relationship we have with our dogs. You know, in these strange times, it's great to go out for walks with your dogs. That's a really way of connecting and having some one-on-one time, and just helping with the bonding and the relationship. Having a cat, I always find it's quite interesting with cats because they've got their own agenda, but they still like that connection. And when you do these particular type of strokes that I'm going to show you, the cats will tell you when they've had enough. You know, you might get a swipe or something, whereas a dog will just say, I want more, which is really, really neat. So what I found with the dog squad, working with them and going around the campuses when we were allowed out and about, it was great to see the students and how they react and interact with the dogs. And just standing back and watching them, it was great to see how people started to smile just when they saw a dog on the campuses. Now, did you know when you smile, you start to change how you feel? Did you know that? It's an emotional response to what you are seeing and feeling. Stroking the dog calmly and with long strokes does help the dog calm. And for people, when you interact this way, it releases oxytocin, which is the stress reducing hormone. It's a win-win for both dogs and people because the dogs are picking up on that too. So when you're in a busy campus, for many, it can be a very stressful environment. And when we are stressed, we are producing cortisol. And when we interact with a dog, our levels of cortisol decrease and the oxytocin levels increase. Hence, we feel good when we see or stroke one of the dogs on the campuses, or your own dog for that matter. So when we stroke a dog with a calm and gentle touch, we enhance the release of dopamine. Just giving you some science facts there, which has a significant impact on the emotional centers of the brain. It allows us to feel pleasure and is associated with bonding and attachment. When you stroke in this way, the information is carried through the sensory systems, and in this case, the tactile system, which is the coat and the skin. That information is carried to the brain by the newer pathway, which is the discriminative pathway, which helps calms and encourages approach for the dog. So when you do slow, calm, gentle strokes, you encourage the dog to stay with you and connect, particularly with your own dog or companion animal. And it's a really nice, lovely way. When you stroke this way with a dog in the dog squad, you are helping them enjoy that moment with you. And that's really important because dogs live in the moment. Any questions? No? That's good because you're all on mute, so I can't hear you anyway.
I have a question, Jane. It's Tracy talking.
Yes.
Well, Tracy and Monty, I guess.
What can I do for you, Monty?
As you can see, he's quite excitable. So when I am, kind of petting Monty and he just sits here and takes it in,
yeah,
he yawns a lot, constantly. What does that mean?
And that's a calming signal that he's giving to you. So when you're stroking him, are you looking directly in his eyes?
Sometimes, not always.
Okay. As dogs pick up on our emotions, when you're stroking him, depending on where your headspace is, he's picking up that emotion. And it might be you might be stroking him, but your mind's elsewhere.
Right.
You might be thinking about work or something like that. And you may just be touching him in a way that's actually just causing him to be more aware of you rather than connect, if I can put it that way. So what you can do, and this is why I've got floss. This is floss. I'll sit back a bit. So when you stroke the ears, which is really calming for any dog, because the ears contain all the acupuncture and reflexology points that affect the rest of the dog's body. So when you stroke your dog's ears, and if their ears are floppy, as in floss, can you see there, guys? Okay.
Yeah.
You place your fingers under the ear, place your thumb on the top, and you're not gripping. You're just holding, and you start at the base of the dog's ear where it's attached to the head, and you stroke down their face. And as you do it, you breathe into it, and you do it that slowly. And you always do the stroke behind the dog's head, so you're not confrontational. And you just stroke calmly down under the throat, or if they allow, along the mouth. Mouth holds anxiety and tension too for dogs. And then you can do the other ear, and when you do that, left hand, left ear, right hand, right ear, you do the same thing. So you're not squeezing, you're just stroking really calmly. And the slower the stroke, the calmer the dog. And it helps us slow down and calm too. Because it's a deliberate stroke and we're having to think about it, it means so much more for the dog. Now for
Okay.
Eric's dog, I see that he's got pointy up ears.
Yeah.
So I would demonstrate. Now, I don't hold the dog's ear, but in this case I am, because the ear flops over. But with any dog with ears that go up, you do the same thing. Hold underneath the ear there, thumb on the top, and stroke and go beyond the ear. And slow it down, Eric, slower than that. Breathe into it. And just as you did that, is it Dre, your dog? Is that how you pronounce it, Dre? He's closing his eyes. He's going, oh, that's nice, Dad. That's nice.
Okay, mine's pulling away. He doesn't like this at all.
And it might be, you know, when you introduce this new way of connecting with your dog, it's sending all this new information to the brain through the sensory systems, and dogs can get overwhelmed. So the best way to introduce this is to do it when you're on your own in a calm space. The dogs are fairly calm. They might be having a cuddle at night. Just introduce it. Just do a couple of strokes, one ear and then down the other. Now you don't turn the dog over like this. I'm doing it because Floss is very lazy. She doesn't move. Okay. See how, Tracy, do you see how Monty's relaxed since you've just changed the way you're stroking him?
Yeah, he's pretty out of it.
Yeah. It's a really nice way. This is a brilliant way to connect with your dog and just have some nice time. And even if it's just for 30 seconds or a few minutes, it's great. If when you introduce this type of touch, your dog gets up and moves away, allow them to. They're trying to process that information. So another one I'll see with Kelly and Ben, I just see you stroking his chest there. Calm it down. Kelly?
Go slower?
Go slower. You see what you're doing? When you stroke, I can't do it with Floss. When you stroke like that, you activate and energize the dog, so they're going to be more up and down. So you're saying, I've had enough, I'm just going away for a minute, I'll be back. So what you can do, Kelly, is on the shoulder here, is you start at the top of the shoulder blades, and as you go down, you open your fingers as you go down towards the elbow. And then as you come up, close your fingers and go towards the rib cage, and then go down and back up the rib cage, and then start from the top of the head, stroke all the way down the spine, and if your dog is comfortable, stroke down their tail. Okay. And Ben will like that. He's wagging his tail, he agrees. Ben will like that because that's a really nice way. Just there, stroke slow, slow. Breathe into it, slower. Take a big, deep breath as you start, and then just breathe into that stroke. Perfect. That's the way you can help a dog calm down. So when I was training the dog squad members, one of the things that we spoke about was when the students or staff come up to stroke your dog, encourage them to stroke slowly, because that will help the dog want to be with you more and stand there rather than move away. But what I found is that when you ask people to slow down the stroke, because many people, when they meet a dog, they like this around the head. Dogs hate that. They hate it. But just ask the students to just stroke the dog calmly. Just one stroke down the shoulder to introduce themselves. It's like shaking a person's hand for the first time. And what I found that does, it helps people just be in the moment with the dog, even if it's for 10 seconds. And that breaks up the whirlwind going on in their head, because college life is very stressful, I find anyway. I did find. Look at all your dogs falling asleep. That's really nice, Kelly, isn't it? So he doesn't have to be with you, just lying there like that. That's awesome. I don't know where Dree's gone, but is he on the floor asleep? Yes, it's worked. And Lex is being a bit of a tart as always. And Monty, he's like, yeah, I'm out of it. I think the dogs can hear my voice. I have a very calming voice, so they're going like, oh, it's Jane, we'll just chill out. Any questions from you guys? So you can see how dogs have an impact on our mental health just by just being there, just being in the moment. Dogs are in the moment. They're not thinking about supper time or anything else. They just want to be with you in the moment. Chidi says I'm camera shy. Bit of a yawn there. That's a calming signal when they yawn. They're a little bit under stress. And what you can do to help them is just yawn back and blink your eyes softly and look away. You just go like that.
I have a question about the eyes, Jane. I've
Yes.
heard that cats communicate a lot with their eyes as well. I'm not sure if you can, I don't know if you know about that, because I've heard that cats will, when you blink at them, that's a way of saying that they love you or you love them.
Yeah, when any animal softens the eye, and we saw it on Dre actually, when you're stroking the ears, Eric, he just softened his eyes. Yeah, and I was looking at him, not that he could see me, but yeah, for any animals, for horses that I've worked with, when you just soften the way you look, but also to turn away, because that's I'm not going to hurt you. I'm non-confrontational, and that is the most for when I work with horses, working with dogs. That's what they need. And even when I work with visually impaired people, and some people had some vision, other people didn't have any, but I always said to them, look at your dog, blink and look away, and that helped the dog and helped the bonding. So dogs pick up on facial expressions, and animals do too, all animals do, because we say so much, not only in our body language, but our face as well. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I really appreciate everything that you have shared with us today. A lot of very valuable, beautiful information. It reminds me, my dog passed several years ago. Her name was Blitz, and she was definitely a country dog, part husky. She loved to run, and I remember spending those beautiful moments. So thank you for those memories, just spending that time with her after her runs, and how she would just like to cuddle. And so now that we're in circle, thank you so much, Jane. And
thank you for.
Yeah,
thank you.
we really appreciate you being here. So we have some time left, and initially, as I was saying earlier, Jackie's inspiration was for us to go around and share with one another briefly what our pet's superpower is and how they've helped us during these exceptional times. So maybe we can do, because everyone's screen is different, we're not all in a circle like we would normally be, we can play like hot potato or hot dog biscuit or something, and pass it to the next person we'd like to share. So the person next to me is Sarah Lynn and Jarvis. So I'll pass it over to you, folks.
Okay, well, Jane, I think you're the dog whisperer, because I slowed down touching his ears and now he's almost unconscious, which is great. I mean, he's really been a godsend. We got him in November, and he hasn't been apart from us since we got him.
That's nice.
And he is just, I mean, the love that he gives, it's just unconditional. Yeah, I know.
He's saying you started to stroke really fast, Mum, and I don't like that.
Right, so slow is...
As he said, slow. So slow it down, slow. Breathe into it, slow. It should take about about 4 or 5 seconds to just do that one stroke there.
Yeah, I mean, literally, the longer the slower I'm stroking him, he's literally just chilled out into a puddle.
Yeah, it's all those nice hormones just settling him down, calming him down.
Apparently disappearing under the sofa.
Yeah, and sometimes just give yourself a break because he needs a break, and then you can go back to it.
Well, he's a new baby too. He's only 5 months old, so
Yeah, and for this type of touch, because it's sensory, less is more to the dog. So if you stroke and just sit up and give him a break, because he's saying, right, I've had enough now, Mum, can you just give me a break?
Yeah.
And listen to what he's saying, because as his brain and his sensory system and his body gets used to this new, slower touch, he will want it more. But at the moment, it's like, oh, that's a bit much. Okay, leave me alone now. Thank you.
Okay.
Awesome.
But thank you. His superpower is sharing happiness, I would say.
Cool. That's good.
Who are you passing it to, Sarah? Sarah Lynn? Oh, did I see Monty? I think you're muted, so I'm lip reading.
Sorry. Bonnie.
Okay. Bonnie.
Oh, Bonnie or Monty, either one.
I don't care. I'll jump in. It's Monty. Well, it's Tracy and Monty. So Monty's superpower, and I don't know how he does it, but in the mornings, he's not allowed to sleep in our bedroom. And so we have our door shut. So in the mornings, I don't have an alarm, but I wake up at the same time every day. And as soon as I open my eyes, I haven't moved yet. I've opened my eyes. He is outside the door and he starts crying. It's like he knows I'm awake and it's time for him to come in and say good morning. Without a doubt, he doesn't take weekends off. It's every single day. As soon as I open my eyes, he starts talking to me to let me know that he's there and he's waiting for me. So on some days when you want to sleep in, it's a little annoying, but it's like having my own personal alarm clock sometimes too, if I'm maybe a little bit late. So he's pretty awesome, I have to say. And I think he's we're at the point now on campus as part of the dog squad, when I bring him into campus, people actually greet him and not me so much. Even though they know me, they just kind of look past me and look to him because he's just one of those kind of goofy looking fun dogs. So that's his superpower, and that's the way we roll. So I will pass it over to Bonnie.
Hi, this is Chili. He's 2. As you can tell, he's not relaxing like the rest of the dogs are. He's quite active and happy to be on the desk at the moment because he rarely gets to be on the desk. I would say his superpower is, I'm not sure if it's a good thing. So Jane, let me know if we should stop allowing him to do this or if it's a bad thing. He only does it for me and my partner. And I don't know if he's mimicking us, but whenever we come home, we always smile with him with our teeth. So whenever we come home, he smiles at us with his teeth. And he only does that for me and my partner. So I think it's a good thing because it's not like an aggressive thing. He's like, has a big smile, which is crazy because that makes us smile more. So I'm not sure if that's like a good thing or a bad thing, but he mimics us. He copies our like facial expressions. And
do that.
Is that okay? Is
Dogs
that like
do that. But what you can do too, it's a conflict of signals for him because he's copying you, but because you're showing his teeth, your teeth to him, he most probably thinks you're growling at him a little bit. So what you can do, what you can do, Bonnie, is when you greet him, look at him and then turn away and then say, hello, how are you? And look and soften your eyes. And just as you're stroking there, where have you gone? There you go. Slow your stroke down. Slow. Really slow. There you go.
And he, is it a good thing? He licks us excessively.
That's a sign of stress.
Okay.
So what you can do is give him something to hold because chewing a bone reduces stress. And and start to stroke him much slower to help him calm down. Because him licking you all the time, he's saying, I'm a little bit stressed here. So just calm it down. Look at him, look away, lick your lips, soft blinking. That's all a calming signal for him. And you will find over time, he will start to lick less.
And if he has a preference for who he licks, does that show anything? If he licks my partner more than me?
Your partner may be a bit more stressed, so he's picking up on that stress level. So yeah, just give him something else to lick, so he knows that it's okay to lick, say, a bone or a nyla bone, but not you. And when he starts to lick the nyla bone, he'll actually start to chew it and let him chew it, so it reduces his stress levels. Do you know a lot of the coaches on sports teams, when their teams are playing, do you notice they all chew gum?
Yes.
It helps reduce stress. That's why they're chewing the gum.
Oh.
Yeah.
I will also take that tip for myself as well. So thank you.
You're welcome.
I will, so I don't know if that was Chili's superpower, but I will pass it along to, on my screen next then, we've put Kelly and Ben.
Hi, so this is Ben. He's 5.5. I would say his superpower is he's like my meeting friend. I think I've been in meetings with almost most of you here, and he's always on the bed right behind my, usually I'm upstairs and there's a bed just behind, and he's usually just lounging there. If he hears me go on a meeting, he always pops right up and jumps on the bed to hang out with the team. It's kind of nice too, because everyone notices him back there. So he's almost like a good relaxation for everybody who jumps on the call, because usually somebody comments on how cozy he looks or how comfy he looks. Yeah, so I would say that's his superpower. He's just kind of my lounging meeting friend. And then I guess I can pass it on to Eric and Dre.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. So Dre is, I don't know if you can see that or not. He's gone now. He's out. It's over. He's snoring over here. I guess in terms of superpowers for this little guy, I think one just that has made the world of difference in our lives is just the humor he brings into every day. He's such a funny, so much character, so much personality, and just watching him go through his day brings so much enjoyment into mine, especially in these darker times. There's not a whole lot to look forward to, or a whole lot. We have a very, very small condo with no backyard, so some days we feel pretty trapped. And Dre just makes you forget where you are with just his, just the shenanigans. That's what I'll call them, shenanigans he gets up to at any point in time in a day. So I think that's really his, it's either that or his selective hearing, where for ears those big, it's amazing how good he is at picking and choosing what it is he hears. But no, he means the world to us and has really just brings so much joy to our days. And I'll pass it off to Lexi and Amber.
Thanks, Eric. So Lexi here. Oh, of course, she sleeps the whole time. And then, of course, the minute she has to go on camera, she wakes up. So she's gone now. Lexi's been really great this since we've gone online. And I would definitely say her superpower is that she makes me energized, even on those days where I'm feeling pretty blah and tired and not feel like doing very much. Her energy is contagious. And so when I just feel like, when I've had a long day or when I just don't feel like I can do much, then it's Lexi running around and wanting to go outside and wanting to play and wanting to go on a walk and getting me outside and giving me the energy I need, when we often kind of feel maybe a little depressed or a little bit slow, she brings all kinds of energy back and makes me yeah, feel like I can get through the day and get outside and laugh and smile again. So it's definitely been her superpower, and her wide range of snoring, which always seems to happen during Zoom meetings all the time. I often have to go on mute because she snores so loud. So that's a good comedic break. So I will pass it off to, I think next on my screen is Jonathan Holmes.
So I've got a really, really weird breed of dog. I don't know what kind of dog he is, but he is really good at fetching. He's really good at running around in the backyard. His name is Sliver. Obviously, he's not a dog. His name is Sliver because he was found in Renee's parents' woodpile. So my partner, her parents just heard this little meowing from a woodpile, and out came this cat. And we're traditionally dog people. We don't have a dog right now. And this little cat came into our lives, and he was small. He came from woodpile, so Sliver seemed to be a good fit. Now, his superpower, aside from making me laugh all the time, he will find a fort or a cave in everything. He will dig and he will burrow and he'll just cover himself and then peek out expecting you to jump into like a little cave the size of a shoe or something like that. It's just, it always, always, always makes me laugh. So I think, okay, who's left? Kelly and Ben, have you gone yet?
I think we have Deb, and I believe that's the only person left. And I also have, I'll save mine for last.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'll pass it off to Deb.
Hi, everybody. Always beautiful dogs. I love dogs. I have a 6.5-year-old golden retriever who is, I don't know if you can see her, sleeping on the bed beside my office desk. She is just a gem. I got her sorry. I got her from Turkey, and adopted her from Turkey. So I got her when she was 1.5 years, and her superpowers are making me feel loved, happy. She loves everybody in our family, and she's so calm. We're really blessed. But I have Gizmo in the picture. Gizmo is 13 years old, and I adopted her, I guess, about a month ago. And she doesn't have any superpowers other than she's learning to trust me, but she barks constantly, day and night. And now she started going under my desk that I have in my office in the spare room at about 11 o'clock at night and constantly barks. So we can't sleep. So I don't know if it's separation anxiety, or Jane, do you have any recommendations? I mean, right now she's very trusting and she's letting me hold her. Sometimes she won't let me touch her.
Has she got a visual impairment or hearing loss? Do you know?
No, she can hear. Oh my gosh, she can hear me open something in the kitchen. If it has anything to do with food, she's right there.
Yeah.
And visual at night, I find that she sometimes needs to be coaxed to where I am. So maybe she could. I mean, at her age, she probably has a little bit of cataracts, eh?
Yeah, and because she's relatively new to you, it takes 6 to 12 months for a dog to settle in their new environment. And because of her age, she's not able to adapt very well. So you're still building up that level of trust and safety. But does she sleep in a bed or in a crate at night?
No, she cuddles right up to me.
Okay, so she needs that security because of her previous history that you most probably know nothing about.
I do actually, because I used to babysit her, but they had babies, and because she barks so much, she she keeps everybody awake. She wakes up the babies as soon as they fall asleep.
Yeah.
So
So what she will benefit from is these touches that I don't know whether you were on when I was showing the touches.
no, I'm sorry. I was in another meeting and I didn't want to.
Well, this is being recorded, so you'll be able to see.
Okay.
But just by stroking her and helping her calm down, because when she's barking like that, her brain is stuck. She's barking for whatever reason. We're not sure what, but nighttime does evoke that sense of insecurity. So maybe having a place where she can sleep, where it's covered, so it's like a little bat cave. And that will help bring some security, and maybe putting a t-shirt of yours in, or an old sweater of yours in with her, just to help her settle. And see if that will work. And if not, just contact me and we can talk over the phone. Or I can come out and see you. So you just let me know.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All the dogs look so calm.
Yeah, totally.
Are they always like this? No? Okay.
I think we have a dog whisperer in the room. That's
I think we do.
Well, I will go last here because I have it's actually my housemate's cat, and her name is S, and her superpower is she's always finding new ways to play, and this is her favorite toy. And it always looks like there's an unfortunate cardinal that's not made it in our condo here, but she's always finding new ways to play. In the last 2 weeks, it's been every morning. I wake up quite early, usually between 3:30 and 5, and I'm out the door for a walk, and she chases me down and likes to play with my laces. So it's always a struggle putting my shoes on, but she finds that very entertaining. But she's been a great friend and companion during these times of isolation as well. So I've always loved cats and dogs and all animals. So anyways, it's so wonderful to see all of you folks and your beautiful companions with you. Thank you so much, Jane, for your teachings, your wisdom. You really have a gift, and we're really blessed to have you as part of our Algonquin College community. So I wish to say thank you to everyone for joining us. For those of you who are listening, we have continual activities for this week as well. But please know that we're here to support you. If you are feeling a need to talk to anyone, don't hesitate to reach out. There are supports here at the college as well as outside of the college. We have Jackie. Thank you for being here as our Aboriginal counselor. And know that we are all in this together. We're all facing these times in unique ways. And thank you so much for all of you being part of our circle and sharing the gifts of your animal companions with us. Would anyone like to say a last word before we close our event? Oh, okay. Well, with that, we wish everyone safe travels, blessings to you and your family, and do check us out on the Mamados Wind Facebook page for more events throughout the week. Okay, Chimin Gwech, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your day.